Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be working on a Sennheiser in-ear pack, and this is the EK300 IEM, the 566 to 608. It's the G band. So this quit working. So we have a bad antenna. So I have a replacement antenna. Was going to come home today to have the antenna replaced anyway, but this morning in rehearsal it would not come on. So that's it on, and it does not come on. Alright, so I've got the 4 screws removed here. So these are, this takes a T9, excuse me, a T9 to remove these. Okay, on the earlier Sennheisers with the green lit face, usually the board will just come straight out. I believe these you have to desolder a connection in here. In fact, we'll go ahead and get our soldering iron turned on. You'll have to desolder this connection here to get this board out. And it's easier to do that if you can take the whole board out, but you can replace this antenna without taking the whole board completely out. You can pull this face off and desolder and pull the antenna out. That's one of the first things I'm going to do, is take the antenna out, so I'll show you how that works. So we'll go ahead and pull the other T9 screw out here. And I may not even need to pull this out to replace the antenna, but I was going to show you that to pull this ribbon cable out, you actually slide this little flat plastic connector back like so, and then the ribbon cable slides right out. Okay, so let's, well, actually, you know what? I'm not even going to pull those out right now. Or we'll pull the front off. And now we can actually have access to the antenna, so we can desolder and pull the antenna off. So I just turned the iron on, so when the iron heats up, we'll be right back. Alright, I think our iron's hot enough now. We should be able to come in here with some solder already on the tip, a good well tinned tip, and we'll heat this up, pull the antenna right out. And it would be literally the reverse procedure to put the new antenna back in. So at this stage I can actually get in here and I can test certain test points to see where our problem is on the board. If I have to pull the board off to do more testing, I can desolder this connection right here, which is holding this board along with these 2 screws, and then this board itself will come off. Then you've got the main board left. Notice, be very careful. If you pull that pad off right there, you're in trouble. You have to scrape it back to that line. So be very careful. Do not force it or you'll pull that pad. Alright, so I disassembled the board and got to checking certain places. You can't really find anything that out of the ordinary. And I'm going to try to reproduce this because it kind of snuck up on me. So it is on right now. There's off, there's on. And upon handling the board, it came on. And I had to keep messing with it to make it go off. So I'm going to squeeze it this way. Then I'm going to squeeze this diode. So I squeeze it this way. That's what I did to make it go back off. I just squeezed in this area and it came on. So I suspect, since I squeezed here, this diode may have a cold or a fractured solder joint. Now to make it go, let me see if I can make it go off. I can't make it go off. So the unit is on now. Earlier I squeezed it right here and it shut off. So I can't make it go off again. But a minute ago when I squeezed here, it's either this diode here or this component here, or where the line comes into the main board here, the main solder joints. So here's one, this is the common solder joint, and these are the two, I guess you'd say power rails, because they split them up into two rails. So I can reflow these connections and see if I can get it to act up again. But as of right now, it is working. And I can't make it unwork. Well, it comes on, but it was working before. Hey, I saw it. There we go. Now we're getting it to act up. So how do we do that? Let me move it side to side. There we go. I'm pulling on it and I'll let go. Now we just need to find what the problem is. Let me reposition the camera. Okay, pulling the whole board from this same component. So now it's off. So I'm stressing the connections that connect it to the board now. And that doesn't make a difference. So now I want to try to stress this component without disturbing anything else. Oh, look at that. I barely pushed on that and this component came off. So there is our problem. This was, you can actually see right here that there is no, can you see that? We'll see if I can get this into the light. You can see that those pads are still brass looking. So that was a fractured solder joint. So what I need to do is prep this board, change the battery in the camera. I'm about out of battery, and we will attempt to resolder this. Good thing we found the problem now. Alright, so I went in and cleaned the pads off, and I don't know about using hot air because there's a couple of lights here and some small components. So I cleaned the pads and put a little solder ball on each one. Cleaned the component, a little solder ball, and I think I can lay this up here and come in with the iron and melt this pad. And I know that I can get around this side and melt that pad. So I'm going to try it that way. I'm going to play safety and do that so that I don't knock this little LED off the board there. So that's what I'm going to try. Call me chicken, but I don't do this every day for a living. I can, whoop, not knock the camera down. It is on. It's hard to show you, but right there is an LED light, just like this one up here, and then the solder pad is right beside that light. So as long as it stays on, it is what it is. That's all I care. So I'm twisting on the board. I think that's going to do it. So we'll solder the antenna, solder the little daughter board back on, put it back together, and we'll try it out. That's good. Alright, so now we have the antenna in place. There's the lead. There's the headphone jack ground. Clean my tip off first. This needs to be a really good solder connection. Okay. Those are shiny connections. And seat the antenna. Let me change to our T9. And put this last screw in. And let's put the batteries in it one last time. There's our pack on. We don't have any RF because it's not. We don't have a transmitter in the house here. So yeah, we'll just take that to rehearsal and see if it works. So let's finish capping it off. Okay, so there is one Sennheiser pack repaired with a new antenna. So basically, what we're gathering from this repair is that sometimes you have components that have a fractured solder joint. These things are dropped. They're used every Sunday and Wednesday night at church, and they're probably 3-4 years old. And yeah, they take a lot of wear and tear, so sometimes you have to go in, and if it's not turning on, a lot of times it's going to be a fractured solder joint. If you don't do any testing, you can at least go through and reflow all the connections and then try it again. We did the board kind of a twist and squeezing, and that resulted in the component flying off the board, and that's what we discovered was the problem. So I think we've got it repaired. So anyway, I'm not a professional repairman. I'm not interested in you sending me your packs for me to replace. I just did this as a DIY video on replacing the antenna, and we repaired the board just while we were in here. If you don't feel confident doing your own repairs, contact your representative, whether it was from Sweetwater or whoever. Send your packs off and have an authorized Sennheiser repair shop repair your components, because these things are like $300–400, so they're worth fixing. So anyhow, if you like what you've seen, then please like and share and subscribe to my channel. You never know what I'll do, whether it be pro audio or CNC work. Today it just happened to be some pro audio work. I'm a sound guy for a church, and I like to keep their equipment going. So anyway, subscribe, like, share this video with your friends, share it on social media, share it anywhere that you can. All the views really help me out. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.